you think being friends with your subjects is important for you guys to film?
You think for both, no? We became friends with, also me, I became friend and you with your characters. And I was someone who arrived later to his project, but it was important to, and with the sailors for me also. I can shoot anyone if he don't want to be shooted. I think if there is not a trust relation, you can take nothing in. It's impossible to film something interesting. No? It's violent. Even for me, I can shoot because it's violent.
It would be almost like a stealing or like a really aggressive thing to shoot people that are not. I think it's important that they feel safe in your hands, like you're taking care of them somehow when you are shooting them, and it's important that they feel a certain care and even a loving relationship somehow, which for the sort of films that we want to do at the moment, at least, I think this is important, this relationship of it's really an exchange, and I think that it's making the film together. It's a collaboration. So
I think there is a kind of limit when the people start to trust the image you're gonna give from him, gonna be an image that he likes of himself. And when the guy you are shooting understands that, it takes a little bit of time, depends of the person and depends how you do the things. But when this guy start to trust in the image you're gonna build of himself, things start to flow in an interesting way.
So what about connecting your films to the audience? How do you do this?
Yeah, I think it's not that much a concern. It's not really like something to worry about that much. In meaning that if you connect yourself, somehow you are like channeling. I think that when you are a filmmaker, you are like channeling something, and if you manage to connect yourself with what you are looking at and observing and shaping into a film, and if you do it with this love and care of doing it in a fair way, as long as it's touching you, you're gonna be channeling this kind of energy and look, and if it touches you, it will touch someone else. Not necessarily everyone, no. We don't pretend to do that. We don't pretend to connect to all the possible audiences. You just try to be satisfied yourself, and if you are happy with what you achieve, if you think you finally achieve a certain connection with the things that you are looking at, this will reach other people too. So yeah,
I think a little bit the same. I think basically there are maybe two strategies, no? The strategy of the industry, I think it's very simple. I am simplifying the thing, but it's maybe to think what could like everybody, and they think what kind of formulas or things will you have to do for liking para gustar.
To please
to a lot of a big number of people. And the other way, maybe is more our way. It's a good formula. This one, you can do a very good film working in that way also. But our strategy is more to work to try to go deep in why we are doing that, why we are doing this film, no? And what's the real deep reason who make us to do that, and what and the things we develop for doing that. And at the end, I think because we are not so different the one from the others, if we arrive quite far in that, and we are honest and we work hard, probably we're gonna reach other people, no? Because we are at the end pretty close, the one from the others.
Yeah, and also maybe this also answers a little bit the questions that we always. I think that we try to go beyond the anecdote, to go beyond the specific anecdotal facts, and try to transcend it to reach somewhere else. So like maybe it's not like we are trying to touch on a specific topic or issue that could affect maybe a limited amount of people, but we're trying to transcend the facts to reach somewhere else, which is more universal, transcendental and universal. So it's maybe that helps to connect with people too.
Do you have any tips to give to people who want to make films?
I think first of one, I in the way you, I'm gonna say the first thing I think is to let yourself a little bit to be lost. I think, and to don't be afraid to be lost. I think it's important to be fragile at a certain point, to don't control the things. I think it's in the confrontation between something that you can control. Is in that case that you have the opportunity to learn something important about you, no, and about why you are there doing that, no. When you are, sometimes I work in a film where things are very controlled, and the shooting is a kind of execution, a cold execution of something that was written, and everything is very controlled. And I think in that occasions, maybe we feel safe because we know exactly what we are doing and we know very well where we are going. But I think the process is sometimes not very interesting and rich when you control everything and everything is on the way that you thought before, no? And if you take the risk and you become a little bit fragile, and I think things will start to happen in an interesting way, sometimes in a more interesting way, no? Have to find a mix. It can be also a complete disaster, but I think it's important to let a little bit
to assume the risk, yeah, because it's difficult to achieve something if you can anticipate things too much in advance. Maybe another tip, especially for students that are thinking of doing documentary, that I would suggest is to privilege time, to dedicate time. I think that the express thing doesn't really help to do things in express under very constricted schedules, and I think you gotta give time to things to evolve, time for yourself to find your distance,
to understand,
time to observe, very important. I think it's a privilege, and you have to fight, because sometimes there's a conflict between time and money, because time costs money, and if you're thinking how to spend the money you have, I think it's important to give a special privilege to time, to spend your money in having time, having the right time to observe, the right time to research, the right time to find your place, your position within that specific environment or place where you want to work. Give time to the people that you are going to work with, the people that you're going to shoot, so they don't feel like assaulted in the street. So they feel in confidence, they feel like in trust, and yeah.